Hello again, this is Jim. Welcome to my kitchen again. Today we're going to make something really good, easy to make, navy bean soup. Now here are the ingredients. And that's the big pot we're going to be using. We got our onions, 3 pounds of navy beans, the big can of diced tomatoes, our seasoning, 2 pounds of carrots, 1 bag of celery, and I just cooked this the other night, a shank ham, spiral cut shank ham, and I'm going to use the bone out of it, and I'm going to dice up at least 4 to 6 cups of ham to go into the bean soup also. Now with the beans, there's a couple of different ways to do it. You can put them in a pot, bring them to a boil for a couple minutes, then shut it off, let it cool for an hour, and then drain it and then start from scratch. What I do is I like to soak them overnight, or for at least anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. Just fill the pot up, put the beans in, and cover the beans with at least 4 inches or so of water, because they'll soak up. And then you strain them and rinse them off, and then we'll start making the soup. So this is the beginning. I will be back. Thank you. Alright, we're back now. We soaked the navy beans overnight, or you can do it during the day, at least 6 to 8 hours. And then there's the quick way. I really don't do it, but put the beans in a pot, bring it to a boil for about 1 or 2 minutes, turn it off, turn the heat off, and let it stand for at least an hour, and then rinse it. So we rinsed our beans, let them sit overnight, and you'll see that they grew, and they will grow a little bit more. So now this is the making of the soup. We did have it in a large pot, add the beans, we soaked them, we drained them. Now we put the beans back into the pot, filled it up with water, just covered it right now. Now we're going to add the ham bone, the diced ham, and all the spices. That'll be our next step. And one thing, just remember what this bone looked like with all the meat on it, and then we'll see what it looks like when we're done cooking. Good stuff. Now this is all the ham, 4 to 6 cups. I like a lot of ham in my soups. I don't want it to look like it was, run through 90 miles an hour. Get something in there to eat. And these are all my spices. Add those, mix them up, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some water to it. I want it to be covered at least an inch, and because the beans will suck it up some, so I'm going to add some more water to it. That should be enough. And this is what it's looking like now. Now I turn the heat up to high, and I'm going to let that go for 10 minutes at high. And I'm going to keep stirring it frequently. Then I'll reduce the heat to simmer and simmer it for 3 hours. And I'll leave the top off. I won't cover it. Now, say you had a family and you ate all the ham and you just have the bone left. Well, that's fine. The bone's the flavor. You can always go to the store, and they have in the meat section they have ham steaks, and they're cut about a 1/4 inch or so thick. Buy a couple of those and dice those up, and save your ham bone. You can put it in a Ziploc freezer bag, put it in your freezer, take it out when you're ready to make this, and then add the ham bone. Dice up the ham from the ham steaks. I had plenty of meat left over from my ham, so I was able to dice it up, And plus too, it's nice. It has the glazing on it. That'll give it another flavor. Now the spices I use, yes, they're in a jar. They say fresh spices, but I'm just like you. What are you going to do with it, with the leftovers, you know? The ones in the jar are fine. Now they say, you know, after you measure it, you put it in your hand, put the spices in your hand and you rub it together. It's supposed to bring the flavor out. I'm sure it does, but we're going to be cooking this for 3 hours. The flavor will come out one way or the other. If you want to rub it in your hands, God bless you. And now my spices, again, I'm using, let's see here, I'm using 1 tablespoon of thyme leaves, 4 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon black pepper, a little bit stronger on the black pepper, a good tablespoon of parsley flakes, and a tablespoon of caraway seeds. Again, you could leave out what you want. Caraway seeds comes from my heritage. I'm half Polish, half Czechoslovakian. My nationality is American. Never confuse that. People look at my name, ask me what nationality I am. I say I'm an American. Well, your name don't look American. I go, you want to know my heritage? That's a different story now. So always remember that. You're an American. Okay, now we're gonna let this go. We're gonna bring it up to almost a boil in 10 minutes. Turn it down to simmer, and we're gonna come back in 3 hours. And every time you go past it, stir it around, keep it mixed every once in a while, and check the water level. You don't want it to dry out on you. It shouldn't. Like I say, cover it about 1 inch. And the next thing is, at the end, we'll be adding all the vegetables, and it won't be much longer. Soup will be ready. Thank you. Alright, back again now. Been 3 hours. Okay, let's see if we can get this in here. We diced up 3 pounds navy beans, 1 ham bone, 4 to 6 cups diced ham, and put that all in a pot. Been cooking that with the spices. Now I'm going to add 2 pounds of carrots sliced, 1 bag of celery diced up, 2 onions diced up, and 1 29-ounce can of diced tomatoes. And those are the spices I added. 1 tablespoon thyme leaves, 4 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon black pepper, parsley flakes, and the caraway seeds. Now this is the steps. We did the large pot, soaked them overnight, and cover the beans by at least 3 to 4 inches of water. They'll suck it up. You'll see in the morning they'll grow. And then drained and rinsed the beans. Then we put them all back in a pot, and we added the ham bone, diced ham and spices, and we covered it with water, at least 1 inch or so of water to cover it. And then we cranked the heat up for 10 minutes and reduced it for 3 hours, and then stir occasionally. Keep stirring it up. Now we're going to remove the ham bone, and we're going to add the carrots, celery, onions, and tomatoes, and we're going to simmer that for 30 minutes. So now you can see it in there now. It's getting thickened up, getting a little bit better. Now fish out the ham bone. And that's all that's left of it. Remember when you put it in, how much meat was on it? Magic, huh? Cool. Okay, take that out. Now we're going to add, and don't drain the juice, add the juice from the diced tomatoes. Just open the can up, dump it in. And these are all the veggies. I like a lot of veggies in mine. Veggies and meat, so good for you. Get all that added in. And then stir it up. Now if you have to add some more water to it, that's fine. Because this you don't want to be real soupy, and if it gets away from you, then you're kind of screwed. So take a look at it, and you can see it's kind of thick. So we're going to add some water to it just to get it covered. And then we're going to let this go for 30 minutes. And We don't want to get it overcooked because I'm making a lot. And if you overcook it, the veggies will turn to mush. So I say 30 minutes, and start checking the carrots with a fork, or just take them out and taste it. Make sure that they're okay. And right when they get to be soft, that's when it'll be soup. So we'll see you in about 30 minutes. Bye. Alright. Well, I said 30 minutes. I lied. Probably 40 minutes I let it go. And I was checking the carrots, make sure that they're tender. But what I did forget to tell you is when you add the vegetables, crank up the heat like before to high for 10 minutes, then lower it and simmer it another 20 minutes, stirring it and checking the veggies. You know, once they start to get a little soft or tender, because you're going to recook it again anyways this much. So just, you know, constantly check it right around the 30-minute mark. Doesn't it look beautiful? Look at the colors. And it tastes just as good as it looks. Well, and now for me, I've done this before on other videos I showed you, this is my chicken soup I made. And I use a good quality Ziploc freezer bag. Make sure the seal's good. And I put them on cookie sheets. A cookie sheet in the freezer, stack them all up, and then when they freeze, you can move them wherever you want to. Works real good for me, for my servings, and however you want to freeze it is fine. But this is delicious, easy to make, homemade navy bean soup. Now I'll get in the camera one more time. Hopefully this is right. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, as I tell you, everybody, you know, the new cooks that are out there, you can always add spices, you can't take it away. So my spices aren't bad, but if you are hesitant about, don't put them all in. And add, and always taste as you're cooking. That's the best part of being a chef, you can taste it. And you'll learn, you'll get the hang of it. Follow the recipe, it's foolproof, tastes very good, good for you. And if you have any questions, leave comments on YouTube and I'll answer them as soon as I get the message for it. Again, welcome to my kitchen. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't be afraid to cook. It's not that hard. This isn't the Rachel cooking show or the other lady. This is plain and simple cooking. It tastes very good. Your kids will like it. You'll like it. And again, thank you very much for watching my video. Have a wonderful day.